Good morning and welcome to this Monday's Thought for the Day. And today we're going to go back to the story of the Feast of Tabernacles in John chapter 7, and we begin reading at verse 37. On the last and greatest day of the feast, Jesus stood and said in a loud voice, "If anyone is thirsty, let him come to me and drink. Whoever believes in me, as the scripture has said, streams of living water will flow from within him." By this he meant the Spirit, whom those who believed in him were later to receive. Up to that time the Spirit had not been given, since Jesus had not yet been glorified. On hearing his word, some of the people said, "Surely this man is the prophet." Others said, "He's the Christ." Still others said, "How can the Christ come from Galilee? Does not the scripture say that the Christ will come from David's family and from Bethlehem, the town where David lived?" Thus the people were divided because of Jesus. Some wanted to seize him, but no one laid a hand on him. Finally, the temple guards went back to the chief priests and Pharisees, who asked them, "Why didn't you bring him in?" "No one ever spoke the way this man does," the guards declared. "You mean he's deceived you also?" the Pharisees retorted. "Has any of the rulers out or of the Pharisees believed in him?" "No, but this mob that knows nothing of the law, there's a curse on them." Nicodemus, who'd gone to Jesus earlier and who was one of their own number, asked, "Does our law condemn anyone without first hearing him to find out what he's doing?" They replied, "Are you from Galilee too? Look into it. You'll find that a prophet does not come out of Galilee." Well, it's a great passage and it's full of great stuff. As we were reminded last Thursday, Jesus was quite reluctant to go up to Jerusalem for the Feast of Tabernacles, but when he got there, then things seemed to take over, and we find him now declaring to the people, "If anyone is thirsty, let him come to me and drink." It's full of lovely imagery, and as Nikki was reminding us, the Feast of Tabernacles, the Feast of Booths, remembered the time of the Israelites in the desert, and for a week they were bidden to live in tents. If you go to Jerusalem nowadays, you'll see tents on people's balconies that they sleep in to remember the Feast of Tabernacles. And another part of the feast was the pouring of water. With great ceremony, the priests would go down to the pool of Siloam at the bottom of the hill, fill a golden pitcher with water, and with great ceremony carry it up to the temple and pour it out at the altar. And Jesus uses this water imagery to refer to himself. "If anyone is thirsty, let him come to me and drink." Just as in the desert, when the people were parched and grumbling, Moses turned to God and God said, "Strike the rock and water will pour forth," and it did. So for our thirsty souls, Jesus is the water of life. But more than that, he speaks of the coming of the Spirit, that streams of living water will pour from us as we trust in Jesus. And this is part of the wonder of the gospel, that Jesus foretold, the apostles believed, and on the day of Pentecost it all came true, and the Spirit was poured out and everything changed. And it's part of the promise of the gospel that as we trust in Jesus, so he pours his Spirit not only into us but out of us, so that we become a source of water for the world as we bring Jesus into the world. So many great images, so many great pictures, but at its centre, the coming of the Spirit. So may we live Spirit-filled lives, and may the Spirit pour out of us as living water for the world. Have a great week. Have a great day. God bless you.